Hello. Okay. Hopefully, I am finally sounding good and I look good and all is good. So, what I'm going to be doing is doing some work while also just talking because I have a few things on my mind. We're going to be doing a few things here and there, and frankly, I have no idea what we're thinking. So, one, today was wonderful. I had a great day today, and I just loved everything about it, and I'm just happy. Two, a few things on my mind on school. School has been on my mind, but also work. And by work, I mean looking for an entry into a career. And frankly, it's about time. And we're just in a different place now, I think, altogether. This is gonna suck. Holy fuck. All right. Jesus Christ. I do not want to do this. Además de hablar cuentos. Okay. I don't want to do that. Not at all. I don't want to do that at all. Ew. So, as far as all things considered, right? Things have been good. And honestly, I'm pretty proud of how far I've come. And I know there's more to do. I think, regardless of whatever's happening in my life, I'm actually going to be more than fine. And that in itself is wonderful. That's so wonderful. You have no idea. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know how things will go at all, but I have faith. For once, I have a lot of faith in myself. I found myself to be a little bit on the more or less bad side of person, and I kind of am not sure how I want to change. And that's something that I gotta figure out at some point, because I don't want to live the rest of my life not really knowing what I want out of it. I mean, of course, you know that, like, everything we do, it's for a reason. And frankly, I want to make sure that reason is good, or at least meaningful, because I do not want to live a life that's without meaning. And that, of course, makes sense. At least I hope. I think, with as far as how I've changed throughout these years, so I guess one way to put it is the past. What has the past done to me that has formed me into the man I am today, right? So I think that's one of those interesting things that you just can't really figure out unless you take a lot of time for yourself to really get deep into it. Otherwise, you're never really going to understand yourself and the reasons why you do certain things. Um, so, for example, I speak really negatively about random things, like anything, realistically, just anything, more of on the negative side of things. And that's not something that ends up being very healthy. And, I don't mean more of, well, I suppose as well as pessimism. I find myself to be quite pessimistic, but I also see myself to be quite, I don't want to say evil at all, but I think that's an okay word to use. It's just such a harsh word. I found myself to do quite a bit of pain towards myself and the people that I love around me. And frankly, I've grown quite a lot but I still don't feel fully accepting, fully proud of the man I am. And frankly, I mean, that comes with time, you know. I'm still very young. I know I don't look like it because of the big beard. Oh, give me 1 second. The mom's calling. Anyways, I guess she wants me to close the fucking the window. She said, "Oh, the AC is on," even though it's gonna still be fucking hot as hell, and it's not gonna feel good at all. Uh, pessimism, pessimism, just right there. Even though this one is literally backed up by years and years and years of annoying repetition of being correct about it going wrong. Now, of course, there's the reality of, hey, you're only looking for the wrong, right? You look for blood, you're gonna find it, right? But I really tried to look for happiness and all this beauty, right? I think I'm losing my voice a little bit. But you seek this beauty in the world and you can find it. You really can if you look hard enough and you just ease into it as well. You have to be gentle. You really cannot force yourself to do something like that. But I think that's really difficult to recognize in oneself. And you know, we can try again and again, and we can fail again and again. And I really, really have tried and failed again and again and again. But each time I get a little bit better. And, you know, the only thing that really, really sucks about it is the people around you can't see that. They only, I mean, the reality is I've hurt people because the person I used to be, they didn't fully know, right? And it was because I was dealing with a lot and or being young, not knowing what to do, not knowing better. And all of these sound like excuses, and they are. They really are. But the thing is, what else could I have done? That's a genuine question. I could have went to therapy. I could have went to get counseling. But at that point in time, how does someone really make that decision for themselves? I guess is the question. Like, that's really difficult to figure out for yourself, especially around 16, 17, height of puberty, and just everything's a mess. Everything's so serious. You just don't know. Honestly, you genuinely don't know. And it makes me wonder, like, how much is my fault and how much is the world around me's fault? Nature, nurture, the usual bullshit. How much of it could I have also just changed, controlled, and been better at? Because we can blame ourselves for everything and or blame ourselves for nothing. And or we can find a good medium, maybe. But I must admit, it's really hard to find that medium, especially when all you've seen is the negatives and or the really big positives after doing things a very specific way that's also just negative, you know? So it's just a little bit on the scarier side of things, I guess. I'm not entirely sure of what I can do because the people I've hurt now, even though becoming so much better, and you know, when they first met me, I was really struggling with these things, and it makes you wonder if I did tell them I was struggling, right? Would that have been better? Because the things that were struggling ended up being about them, right? Or I was having struggling thoughts and or really negative thoughts, just negative thoughts about them, and or It realistically could have not even been about them, but about me. My own insecurities, my own thoughts about myself, my own really annoying, wrong desires. It makes me wonder, what was the point? One. Two, what could I have done? I really, really want to know, what could I have done? Because I really wanted to be right. But at the end, I was wrong. Again and again, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. And it makes me wonder now, what was I right on? Because honestly, all I did was try to survive. And throughout all that time, I developed such bad habits, bad ways to treat others, bad ways to treat myself, that I became weaker. Until I started being self-aware, being able to see the ways of my wrongs. And it still makes me wonder, why now? Because I've lost some of the most amazing people in my life. Their trust, their care, their love. And it made them doubt me. It made them doubt me. And maybe not at the time, because they didn't know, but the skeletons come out. They really do. The reality is, the truth will always come out. And whatever bullshit you had done back then, as much as you have changed, it really will come back to bite you in the ass. At least that's been my experience. Now, I can choose to not suffer through it and not really worry about the effects it has on me, but I can also use it as a lesson. But I feel like I disrespected them almost by using it as a lesson. It's just really sad, because you could have loved them back like an insane person, but like at the time I would struggle with my own emotions, desires, and hell, really negative thoughts. And you can fill in whatever negative thoughts you want. I probably thought of it. And whether that be negative thoughts about myself, or about others, or about actions, you can think of it any way, and you'd probably be right, more than likely. And this isn't some apology thing. It really, like, who am I apologizing to here? Like, who's gonna watch this that I've hurt or something, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?